Hello everyone. Sejr here. Thank you so much for joining me. I am on the Trinity Stamps channel and I am going to be making some Christmas projects using these tiny dies. You got the tiny elf, the tiny snowman, the tiny Christmas tree, and the tiny Santa. If you're not familiar with these, check them out. They are fantastic little dies that you can add to your projects. But for this project, let's work with the tree and the Santa Claus. I think these are going to be really nice together for Christmas tags. So I've already cut out the Santa Claus in all the pieces. For the red cardstock, I decided to use a glossy red, which will make Santa stand out just a little bit more with that shine. And then instead of using white, I'm using almost a cream cardstock just to get that vintage vibe for my Santa Claus. I think it's going to look a little bit better. And because the project is going to be kind of on a white background, we'll get to that. I want it to stand out from that white background. So putting together, there are a few small pieces. So I have my Trinity Stamps little holder cuppy thingy right there on the left. It's perfect for holding your sequences so you can pour them back in the packages when you're done. But I'm using it for my die cut pieces so they do not get lost. And of course, then I will show you what I do with the little eyes and stuff and mouths because they're quite small as well. So far we've just created the body and the head. It goes very easy. You just kind of make sure that they just overlap and there's enough room to make sure there's something to hold on. And there we go. There's our little Santa Claus. Almost looks like a bell at this point. I might have to think about that. A little Santa bell. Now to put on his belt, I've cut this in some black cardstock and we'll just put that right near the bottom and it lines up perfectly. So if you want to hold up your Santa while you're aligning it on both sides, you can do that and then you'll get in the perfect position. And then I'll put my little belt buckle in there using some tweezers and we'll just carefully put that in the center. That's cut in some gold cardstock to give it some shine. Okay, now we're going to move on to the arms. Now the arms is not what's on the die. I wanted some more fun. This is the band that goes on the Santa hat. I thought these wide, noodly looking arms was going to give me a better whimsical look. And you'll see when I put the other piece on. So these aren't designed for the arms, but I thought it was quite fun. So you can see that I can kind of bend them and it almost looks like he's just cheering sideways. I think that looks a lot of fun and they're shaped just enough that I can get the mitten and the little cufflings on there and it doesn't look like it's wrong. So I really like this. Gives them some nice longer arms and just a different pose than if you use the ones that are designed for the arms. And then we'll just put the cuffs on and the cuffs are also in that creamy warm white color. And there we go. You can kind of see that vintage look. If you did bright white, it would look a little bit different. Now I didn't know if the mustache is supposed to be like this or reverse because it actually fits perfectly if you flip it upside down. So I did two. I did a second project and you'll see what that Santa looks like with the mustache flipped. I kind of like this one just because he has it really makes that mustache prominent, but you do what works for you. Okay, so here's what I was talking about, the really small pieces. So what I've done is I've cut those out and I've placed them on some double-sided tape. If you look at it, the one on the very bottom that I'm pulling out now and I was pointing at, that's the mouth. And so all I did was I put some double-sided tape on the back, put it through my die machine, and now it's kind of sticking there and it has a sticky back to it. And then I'll do the same thing for the eyes. I'll just kind of poke them out. The Sook Wang that I'm using is not the best for cutting through. It's great because it won't cut all the way through, meaning that it won't get stuck in the die or whatever and you won't lose them. But you do need to poke it a little bit. But this is much easier than having these tiny little pieces floating around because they can easily be lost. It's almost like the tittle on a sentiment, just before the eye, there's like that little circle. Sometimes you lose those. So when you have this, it's perfectly fine. And then for the eyebrows, I actually forgot to cut those before I started recording, so that's why they're not on some tape. Like I would have done the same thing with the black, but we'll just place those right there. And now let's add some pants to my Santa, so he doesn't look like a bell anymore. I would say when you're building these tiny guys, or tiny elements, I would cut everything out first and make sure it's all prepared. It makes it a lot smoother just to start creating. So if you want to make, let's say 2, 3, 4, cut all the pieces, have them in piles, and just do each section at a time. It's not that bad. It's more intimidating if you're trying to cut, then glue, then your hands get gluey, then everything gets all messy. Definitely just take the extra step to organize it. And the boots, it's 2 layers, so if you wanted to have 2 different colors, you could, but there we go. It's just one on top of the other, and there's my Santa Claus. And then we'll do the tiny Christmas tree. The tiny Christmas tree is a lot easier to work with. The only small piece you really have are the little baubles or lights that you have. And you can choose to make them multicolor. You can choose them to be just one color. I just stuck with the traditional red, which is that glossy red paper, so that it matches the same as the Santa Claus. And then for the garland, I cut it in some gold foil, which matches the belt buckle on Santa Claus. So I'm tying the 2 together. But you can kind of see that when you cut the big tree out, it actually leaves some indents in there. So you get some nice texture. So if you were to ink it, that would be a really nice touch to kind of make it so that the top layer gets nice and inky and the bottom layer may not get touched, but you'd have to make sure you have a very light hand on that so you don't get into those grooves as easy. And then we'll just add the star, which is also using it. Very easy. This one is the easiest of the tiny die series, I would say. Just because there's not as many small pieces. It's more manageable. But definitely very rewarding when you get to finally finish them. So for the baubles, it does come, I believe, in a 6. So 6 dies are 6 little circles at once. So I cut it twice so that I can get about 7 or 8 of these on there, just to fill up the Christmas card or the Christmas tree. And there we go. So you can kind of see that you can add different colors. You can make them look like lights or baubles, whatever you wish to make them stand out as. And we're just going to use the Trinity Stamps pickup stick to plop those all on very easily. And there we go. Now that we have our 2 Christmas elements, let's go and start making a tag. I'm going to bring up the Space Fog stencil because it has the mask as well. And that's important because what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be doing kind of an illusional background here. So it's going to be a few steps. I'm going to fast forward this quite fast just to get to the point. But I'm going to be bringing in 2 shades of green. You can also do this with 1 shade of green. You just need to make sure that one hand is heavier on the pass and then the second time is lighter, right? So that you have the 2 different colors. If you have a heavy hand like me, stick with 2 colors because no matter how hard you try, you just can't seem to stick to light hands. So with this fog stencil, which is part of a previous release, it actually has 2 sides. So now what I'm doing is I'm flipping it to get the other shape, and I'm going to just make these weird abstract blobs. Essentially what I'm kind of going with is an very up close view of like a Christmas tree, and it's just these blobs. That's what I'm going with. It is whatever you want it to be. For this card, I'm kind of moving closer to the right hand or the left hand side, so there's a lot of white space. For my other cards, I moved it over a little bit more, and I'll show you those examples at the end. Now here's where I'm going to just be a little more artsy. Taking my little blending buddy, I'm going to take the masks and I'm ever so lightly going around the edges to create this illusion that there is some depth to it. You don't need to be perfect. Do the best you can, and it doesn't really matter. Just try to be as light, because if you do go dark, then it's going to be a very, very strong line. And when you're doing that, you kind of want to make sure that that stencil is not exactly over the image, because if you do, you may get the risk of getting a white gap in between the green and that gray. Okay, I did switch the gray to a lighter gray. It didn't make a difference. Like I said, I have a heavy hand and I didn't wipe my brush off, so they're pretty much the same grays, but there you go. It's not perfect, but it's doing the job. Okay, now the next step. Let's put these back on and we're going to lay down another stencil. This one is actually on its final sale, I believe. It's called... Oh, I had it on hand. Sorry. It is called the Retro Diamond. I use it all the time. It is, I believe, on its last sale. There are still some in the shop, so definitely get it. It's one of my favorite stencils from Trinity Stamps because of the size and that it creates stripes and diamonds and it creates a full background. So I will link it, but it is on its last sale. So there we go. And by doing that, you now have this extra background because with the gray and the background, it now really looks like those green blobs are floating on the top there. So the more pronounced that shadow dye we do with the gray, the better it's going to look. But I'm going to be covering a lot of it with elements, and so you don't need to be perfect. I am pulling out this sentiment from the little tree gnome stamp. It has this little gnome that's dressed in the Christmas tree, but it has a nice sentiment that's straight across that's going to fit perfectly on my tag, and it's Season's Greetings. I'm just going to freehand this. I love this ink. It's the only ink that I can freehand without worrying. And then I'm going to put in some gold embossing embossing powder on that, just to make sure you get to tie in the gold on the rest of the card. So we have the gold on the Santa's belt, the tree, and then we want to add a little bit more gold into the sentiment. And there we go, Season's Greetings. It's beautiful. We'll let that cool down just for a second. And while we'll do that, I'm going to bring in some more gold. So I have my Posca marker. I love these, and they're perfect for outlining the edge. So just going to, if it's a little dry, you just shake it and pump it so that some ink comes out. But look at that. It creates a very beautiful, straight gold line. And that's exactly what I need. I'm being careful, but really it dries fairly quickly because we're not using that much. Just don't go over the same line twice because it will pick it up if it's not fully dried. So there we go, just a nice little touch. You can do the same thing with adding embossing ink to the edges and then heat setting it, just like I did with the sentiment. And you'll get a different effect. You may not get the perfect thin line, you'll get a nice textured, distressed look. Okay, now we need to ground Santa in the tree, and we're going to pull out that same green that we did for the banner, for the sentiment, and I'm just going to use one of these scalloped, dainty rectangle dies to cover the bottom so that we also have a nice border there. So, because I am covering the bottom of this, I will add that ink back into that new shape there. So we'll bring that marker back out. You just never know if you're going to cover something until later. So there we go. Yeah, we'll just bring that marker back out and we'll ink that and we'll glue that right down to the bottom of a card so that the dainty lace is hanging off. I do not want to see the background in those little hoops. This will just make it so that the card just has a little bit more texture to it. It's not just a tag now, it has a nice frill. It's really pretty. So we're almost getting to the end here. We'll just start gluing down our elements. I was thinking about propping up the Santa Claus so that you have some nice depth to the tree. Definitely that will elevate it so that it's really going to show the difference between the different elements, the background and the tree. But because it's also a tag, I was a little worried that if I were to use it, it would get hooked onto everything and then pop off. So if you know that's not going to be a case, I would prop that Santa Claus up, even the tree maybe, and that will give you some beautiful dimension and it really will make that tag pop. Next, we'll glue this down, centering as best we can, and then snip off the edges. And now I know that my card is perfectly straight. Centered, I should say. There we go. Now let's add some more gold, and we'll do the little dots here, sparkle dots. One thing that I just realized that I did not do is I would have added a little reinforcement circle on the hole where the ribbon's going to go through, just so that it has reinforcements. And you can do that easily with the album die. There is a little reinforcer, which I should have brought in. But there we go. There's a nice white ribbon that we're going to add. And let's bring in the other two projects that I created. Another Santa with the white, but I did some circles using the Swiss cheese background. And then I did one all in green with the elf. That was a lot of fun. I do hope you enjoyed this. You don't need to make big tags like this. You can always make smaller ones and just use one of them, like the elf there. But they are a lot of fun to make, and you can change the background any way you'd like. I do hope you enjoyed these projects. I hope it has created some inspiration for you. Definitely check the description box for all the links to the products that I've used. And until the next time, have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye.